What's up, YouTube fans? Today, I want to take a look at the FansToys Universal Stand. So, this is an accessory kit that came out just a few weeks ago. Here's the box. Very different from their typical box because it doesn't have like artwork on it like we've seen from Johannes Vinci. Here's the back, and it shows you all the figures it works with. So, it's really 4 figures. Rouge, Jabber, Quietus, and Apache. So we're going to look at all 4 of those, and then I'll give you final thoughts on this, and then we'll get into potentially what this could be used for. I do want to just show you the stand up close so you can see it. So here's what it looks like. There is some sculpted detail and molded in things. This is actually a faux piece, so it's not an actual piston. It doesn't go up and down. It just looks like a piston. That is somewhat unfortunate. Most stands like this arm goes up and down. This one does not. It does have articulation here, so you can get this all the way up to there, down to there, and then lock it in at whatever position you like. And then this has a lock here, so if you push the lock this way, all the way that way, you can go down to there and up to there, and then you can lock it in. So that's really all the articulation on this thing. So let's start taking a look at the figures. We'll start off with Jabber. So there is Jabber, FansToys version of Blur, and this is the piece that goes with him. It's not labeled. All of the pieces are labeled. They have a little, writing on it. This one, for whatever reason, it doesn't. But it's him because it's got that little tab there, and it fits perfectly. So you come to the back here. You can open up this panel here. You can see he's got a little tab on the bottom, and that's where this is going to plug in. So go ahead and plug that in there. Just get it on there nice and tight. And then you can take this, and you can see there's a circular tab on this side of the adapter. That's going to slide into here. And then make sure you have the lock turned on. And you can see that it just fits in right there. And there you go. There's Jabber. This lock does tend to knock, so you got to kind of just be careful and make sure you have that locked in. But you can get it in some, pretty cool poses. But there is Jabber on the Universal Stand. Just a side note on Jabber, he does come with this piece here for the vehicle mode, so you can display it. I'm not going to get him transformed, but you basically use this same adapter here, peg that in, and then just attach it the same way. And you can have that him in vehicle mode hovering, which is nice because he is a hovering vehicle. All right, next we have Rouge, which is FansToys version of RC, and I have her in this gun holding pose there, but she has her own adapter, which looks like this. So this one actually has the label, and let's see, where is that label? Right here. So it says FT24. Might be hard to read, but right there it says FT24. It's just inscribed into the plastic. So this piece, you just come down here. You'll see there's 2 screw holes, and there's 2 tabs that fit into those screw holes. So just get that pegged in. It's not the tightest fit, to be honest. I kind of think it should be a little bit tighter, but same way, go ahead and peg this in, slide it in, and make sure you lock. So you can get it, you just got to push it in a little bit, but it does feel a little bit looser than normal. But there's RC, sorry about my white background, but she does pose on there as well. All right, next we have Quietus, which is their version of Cyclonus. And he has 2 adapter pieces, one for vehicle mode and one for robot mode. Unfortunately, the one for vehicle mode, we're not going to be transforming him today. But this right here, this is going to slide into the ship. And basically it tabs in slightly differently. So you've got a little adapter here. That's going to push in to the bottom here. And then same as like the others, let's take this one off. You're going to slide this in and then set Quietus on top. So you do need to use this adapter piece. You can get that in there. There's an angled piece in there, so that's how that fits in. But this is the piece you're going to use for robot mode. So it has a round peg here and then a square. And if you look at the back of Quietus, and you get this tabbed back in. Unfortunately, you can't utilize his waist swivel if you've got this on, because you need this to be pegged in. And this is pegged in, you can't rotate his waist, which is unfortunate, but that's how this works. So go ahead and put this on. This does fit very securely on him. It locks in place. All right, and once you get that, then you're going to take this, just like the other ones, go ahead and slide this on, and then make sure you lock. And now you've got Quietus flying through space. And there you go. All right, and last but not least, we have Apache, their version of Springer. And he only has one adapter, so I was mistaken. This adapter fits in the helicopter mode, but I can't seem to fit it in the robot mode, and none of the adapters seem to work in the robot mode. So a little strange that they did that. I did have to get this transformed. I'm going to leave it this way because I have a second Apache coming, and I'm probably never going to transform him again because he's kind of a pain. Hopefully that X-Transbots one is a little bit simpler. So here's the round pegs here are going to go into these two holes, and then these flat pegs here on the front are going to go into these two holes. So I like to put the back in first and then peg in the front. It does fit in fairly securely. You do need this piece here, this adapter. Let's go ahead and slide that on to here. Make sure you lock it, and then just set this on top. Make sure you push it all the way down, and make sure you've got this locked here. I almost am just thinking of just tape that down, but there you go. There is Apache in his helicopter mode flying along. Final thoughts on the FansToys Universal Stand. Let's start with the positives. I do like the way Apache looks in this view, or in this mode. I also like that they're including these adapters. It gives me hope. I really hope they're going to do this, but I really hope they give you a piece like this with every new figure, especially flying figures, especially Decepticons. They've got to have a ability to be on a flight stand somehow. And that would make this a true universal stand. If they don't do that, I don't really understand the purpose of this. Seems like a lost opportunity, but I have hope there because they're calling it a universal stand, so that's another positive is, you know, all these little adapters. Now let's get into the negatives, which are several. So number one, this is a very simple stand. It doesn't do a lot. Unfortunately, this lock is not very good, so it's very loose. I'd be afraid to leave this on a shelf, and if my family member or somebody bumped it, you know, it might knock this out and make the figure fall. So I would probably tape this down so that it's no chance of falling down. The other thing is the detents are too far apart. So that's the first detent. The next one down is right there, and that's too much of an angle. I'd be worried it'd fall right off the adapter. So that's not going to work. Basically, the only way you can display it is like this. Pretty much true for all the figures. Otherwise, the angle is just too great. You can't use this. That would have been nice if this piston actually worked and you could angle this downwards. But unfortunately, you cannot because of the way this is designed. This doesn't move. That would have helped with a slight angle forward, you know, a pitch down for your figures. The other issue with it is the color. The blue is not very attractive, especially on white backgrounds or white shelves or white display spaces. It really stands out. It really should have been translucent. I don't understand that decision. Maybe the blue plastic was cheaper or something, but that is definitely a turnoff for me. I'm going to use this just the one stand. It's probably going to stay with this Apache figure, but this is really a letdown for me. So I can't recommend this, unfortunately. I think it's just not good enough. It's a rare FansToys product that I think it needed a little bit more thought, a little bit more work. And at $35 per stand, that's a little too much to pay. You can get stands of this better than this quality on Amazon or eBay, and they actually hold even heavier figures with no problem, and you can do flight stands, flight poses. So I can't recommend this, unfortunately. I do wish it were worked out. Maybe they'll fix it in the future, but right now I just don't think it's a good product, especially at the price point of $35. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.